Hey, hi, hello, how are you? I'm Pia. Today we're talking about all the books that I want to read in April. I can't believe it's April, which I feel like I say every month, but this year is flying by. So I did a little experiment last month, and you will see in my wrap up how quote-unquote mood read March went for me, but it definitely has informed how I construct TBRs and how I'm like just moving forward with my reading. So I have lots of ideas of things that I want to read and some videos that I can kind of fill in with those things that I'm reading. It's just not going to be as restrictive, I guess is the best word I could put it. That moving forward, that's going to be a way that I can make TBRs and stick to them in some sense, but also just like be a mood reader in other ways. So the first group of books are all going to be the rest of the Anne books. I don't have them here with me, but I'm taking them from home. These are books 6 through 9 of the Anne of Green Gables series because I wanted to read this last year and then I didn't read obviously the last 3 books. But is that 3, 6, 7, 8, 9, 4? Well, whatever. But I'm hoping to get to them this month, and I'll just do like one video on all 4 of them because they're sequels, and assume you know what Anne of Green Gables is. Anne of Green Gables is my favorite book, and that's why I kind of was like, I'm a fake fan. Like, I haven't read all the books, and I still haven't read all the books. So I own them. I love reading and annotating them. I always have such like a lovely experience, and these later few books, I think apart from one of them, which I know is set during the winter, so I'm still gonna have to read it. I think Rainbow Valley like gives winter vibes. The other ones are definitely more like springy, whereas like Anne of Green Gables, I just think of like fall. But I also think of spring in some ways. I think of like transitional seasons. You didn't ask. So I'm going to be getting those books from home and bringing them here. I'm going to be bringing a lot of books here with me to Boston because I want to be reading physically. Crazy! Yeah, so that's Anne's House of Dreams, Rainbow Valley, Rilla of Ingleside, and The Blythes Are Quoted. Did it. Then I would also like to get to some arcs this month. I got to a couple last month and I want to just keep that NetGalley train rolling so I can get more arcs. I've been auto-approved for some arcs, which is kind of cool. Like, people are like, publishers are now like being like, hey, we think you would like this book, please read it. And I'm like, what? That's really fun and cool. But one that I actually did get sent by the publisher, and that is Wednesday Books. Wednesday Books, if you ever want to send me books, you are like my favorite people. Like, don't tell all the other people, but Wednesday Books, you're my favorite. Gave me an advanced copy of Tilly in Technicolor. Now this is by Maisie Eddings. It is her first YA, and I previously read one of her adult books that I literally historically gave 1 star, and I don't frequently give books 1 star. So I'm interested to read this because I was sent it, and because it's Wednesday Books, I think I will like it because I usually like Wednesday Books books. That's why I love them, but I'm definitely apprehensive going into it. Other books I threw in here are The Heart Principle by Helen Huang. I read The Kiss Quotient by her and didn't really enjoy that. I think I read that for a video years ago. I think I was reading like someone, but this one is more women's fiction-y than like her previous 2 books, which were The Kiss Quotient and The Bride Test, and those were more romance, and I didn't like her romance, so I was like, maybe I will like this one. We shall see. And then I would also like to give Yoink a try. My best friend, Katie Colson, recently posted her bookshelf tour and reminded me that Yoink is one of her favorite books. And I have not had a great past with Mary H.K. Choi, but I did like see her at like an author panel talk thing, and I was like, this gal's really cool. Like, why do I hate her books? So I'm gonna try this one. It seems to be more like popular than her other 2, which are, I DNF'd both of them, so we shall see. I know it's about like a sister relationship, but other than that, I don't really know. So we'll see. And then another book I have to get from home is Cersei by Madeline Miller. I'm trying to read more of the books that I physically own. This hasn't really bothered me in the past because I live in Boston, so like a lot of my books, most of my books are back at home. It doesn't bother me because they're all the way over there. Like, how am I gonna physically read them? But I'm trying to get to the books I physically own because like I think it's a precious thing to own a book, and I don't want to own books that I don't like or have no interest in reading. So I'm gonna try to get to this one. I didn't like The Song of Achilles. Well, I didn't not love I just thought it was boring. People usually like one or the other of Madeline Miller's books. I'm hoping I really like Cersei because it's the one I physically own. So we'll see. If you guys know like any of these books that I'm talking about, if they're like good audiobooks or like good physical books, or like you have some opinion on it, please let me know. Then I'd also like to read A Man Called Ove. I am making my way through Frederick Bachman's backlist. I recently read Airtown and Us Against You, and this obviously just got turned into a movie, which is very cool. I don't know. I'm sorry, book. I just bought this, used. My mom really wants to read this, so this is like a higher priority because I have to bring it to her because she's like, I want to read it because she just read Anxious People. I'm passing along Anxious People. Now my dad's reading it, so she like really wants to read this. So I'm like, okay, I'll give it to you so you don't buy like another copy because that's silly. This is just about a grouchy old man. I've heard he's very grouchy, and we shall see if he like becomes likable or if that's just like, if I'm just not gonna like him at all. I do have a certain amount of trust in Frederick Bachman because I think he does a great job with character, but I do, with that being said, a lot of his books have like such huge casts of characters that it's really interesting to me that this like just focuses on Ove. He's also 59, which is so funny because my dad is like 67. Let's see how I feel about this. I didn't know he was that young man. Anyway, yeah, so this was translated in 2014, so maybe it's like one of his older ones. I don't know. I'm already trying to find like reasons to not hate this book because I'm afraid that I won't like it because it has like mixed reviews. So yes, I have to read it though because my mom really wants to read it, which means she'll probably read it in 6 months. So there's some other like literary fiction that I want to read and probably like get from the library and stuff. Disorientation is one that I've been looking at. This I know came out recently and I saw it at my library and I should have gotten it. I didn't. I have just been back in my literary fiction bag, you know what I mean? They are my favorite books to read. I just love like these stories where like nothing really happens. We're like following like 2 or like 1 character and they're just like, this is their life. Like it's pretty mundane and like I just like it, you know? This one though is supposed to be really weird. I don't know what it's about exactly. It has a really interesting cover. It's not at the library when I go tomorrow. I'm gonna be so fucking pissed. It's a coming of consciousness, which like kind of scares me. I don't know what that means. It's about a 29-year-old PhD student. Honestly, literary fictions are so hard to like describe, so like I don't think I'm gonna get a lot from the synopsis. I'd also like to read All Adults Here. This is another book I physically own and I need to go get from home. Oh, and by the same author. Oh my god, I just realized this time tomorrow because I actually have the audiobook out from the library for this one. But All of those here I have physically, so. I've seen this author comped in some regard to some of my favorite contemporary, like adult contemporaries, memorably Cleopatra and Frankenstein. These, I don't know if they're like 2 of her best ones or like 2 of her most famous ones, but I know she has a few. I own All Adults Here. And I think I also own Vacationers. Mom, do you know? I think we do. I think we have it. Yeah, I'm gonna be reading All Adults Here and This Time Tomorrow. I think This Time Tomorrow is more speculative and it does give me tomorrow vibes. Which, of course, like the title, yeah. But yeah, I do think like this is an author that like has been on my mind for a while and like I've seen a lot of places and like I know when I was like applying to college, like she was like on the like notable alumni for her creative writing college that she went to. Did not end up going there. But anyway, so yeah, I'd like to like try out this author and get into her works and see if we vibe. You know? And then I also have another arc that I would like to get to, which is Family Lore. I really was considering making this the group book for my readathon in this summer, which I have not announced yet, so sneaky peeky. It's not gonna be this book because this doesn't come out until August, but I still really want to read this. It's her first adult book and it's written in prose. I've read Poet X and With the Fire on High, a book in prose and a book in poetry, and I really thoroughly enjoyed both of them. I think she's a really talented writer, and because she has this background in poetry, like it shows in her prose. I think there's something about like poets and how they craft like sentences. It's like very interesting. Anyway, but this is her first adult novel and I'm very excited that I got an arc of it, so I'm excited to read it and see what she's doing. I love when authors like change genre or change age category. It's always so interesting seeing how their writing carries over, what's different and what's the same. So I'm really excited to have another one of her books to read. Anyways, those are all the books that I am planning, and now planning, hoping, wishing, I've been sitting waiting wishing to read in April. Will I read these? Maybe, maybe not. That's what wrap-ups are for. These are my ideas, my hopes, my dreams of reading plans. Let me know if what you're planning on reading in April, anything springy, anything fun. I also will have a book club book to read, but I don't know what that is at the present moment. I'll put it in here right here. Here's the book club book we're reading for my book club at school. But other than that, I always read way more than I plan on and just like random shit. So yeah, let me know what you're reading. If you've read any of these books and want to let me know what you thought of them, I would love to know as always. And with that being said, make sure to like, comment, subscribe to all the things, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!